I have to go as soon as possible.
Hold on.
I don't mean to be rude when I just kind of just have to go, but it's because I'm using the phone and it's long distance. And I don't want this out.
Okay, we're live with Rachel. Rachel, are you there?
Yeah, Rachelle.
Rachelle. Sorry, Rachelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. Now you know why I went to a nickname.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just keep calm
I know.
and carry on, okay?
I know. Our famous.
I've run out of milk. Disaster.
I appreciate everybody's positive comments. Please be positive because I got to go backwards and yet keep up to the forward of what's going on. There's a guy called James Linder. Look at all the Q posts at the moment. What you're going to see is everything that I'm saying is what's happening now in the future of what this weekend is very important. Right now we have China getting the Pharaoh line of what Zuckerberg, his daughter, of his wife's Chinese. So this goes to the Chinese, is what I was saying. This goes Asian, Hispanic, and black, who to be the next Pharaoh. And that was what 9/11 was about. How it goes was Princess Diana died. They needed to get the royal family bloodline into mine to be Pharaoh of what 9/11 was about. They're all puppets. You can't push the blame on one person. And so I was impregnated in Buckhurst Hill. My father-in-law almost tried to kill the baby, but that was twins. That was Maddie at the Portland Hospital, Nicholas. I had to go to some Greek doctors in the middle of the night, and they were born just like 10 minutes before 12 o'clock on August 31st. And I had to have it then, and I almost died. And they took the baby. And that's what your 7/7's about, because one of my kids had a cleft palate, and they had to go over to the Great Ormond Street. So that's where they thought they had the line. They thought they had the protected line, which is the Jesus line, which is a protected line of kill, 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 and some people just survive. It's like the force is with you, tell the good. And this is what it's been ages, eons, what it's about. But this time, we have the CRISPR line, which is a God gene, 200,000 years old. And that's because the Nazis were involved with Operation Paperclip after World War II, with Eisenhower, with my uncles. They all came over, stopped the war, and we got all the Nazis back to our hometown, plus Rothschild's got Israel, where we're at the moment.
Well, you know that Eisenhower was a DVD agent for the German intelligence agency?
And guess who's working with Laura Eisenhower right now? She's from right outside my hometown, too, of Effort around there. Guess who that is? Swerdlow, who was with, Max over in Poland.
So what are you saying there?
I'm saying there's connections. And black magic, big time. That guy is very heavy. You have to understand, they don't want it out that they had to go this Bohemian Grove of up the bums. I mean, it's embarrassing for these, Trump to say, yeah, he's had to have all these sex to get to be where he's at with men. This is the Bohemian Grove, which is interesting. I was just calling my cousins back east, and guess what their last name is? I didn't even put two and two together. It's Kissinger. And Kissinger was in Pennsylvania with it all, and it goes all the way around why he's in Switzerland with my father-in-law, with Maddie McCann, to where they switched over and got babies with Putin to get Trump in power, which is the blue blood. So
what are you saying about Putin, Trump, and all that?
What it is about is it's not collusion. It's all about mixing the bloodline together. Like the top row of people have their bloodline, and they swap with each other. They're the kings and the queens and the dictators, and who wants to be the emperor? Who wants to be who wants to be the Hunger Game leader? And you have to remember, we are not there, so we're going to have to go communist to obey, and then we'll go to one world dictatorship, is what we're trying to get to. And if you look at Munder at the moment, James Munder, the latest Q post is there's three, and it's China, Vietnam, and USA. And USA was just with the royal family and the Vatican to put the cardinals over to China. There you go, the Nazi side of things, of where we got the Nazis back to our hometown, and it was a takeout of what was going on. This is the takedown of USA, takedown of Israel. To go where the next world leader, where the Rothschilds and everybody agreed to, is China. But that's not in the cards yet. And this is where it's very important. I feel like saying, get some money together, get my family out, because we are the bloodline, whether it's my mom and dad and my sister, of what's all going on with my niece, where my niece was raped, impregnated, and what was going on with Putin, Trump, to go over to give to China, to mix all the DNA up with my sister's line and my line. It's like one versus the other. Who's going to win? It's always a game. Russia versus Germany. It's a game. They have so much money. This is what they want to shoot at to see who survives. Let's go underneath the ground and cause the world wars, and let's see who survives. And then that's going to be your protected line, your Jesus line. It's a strong line of will. And it's like which top Illuminati family is going to own it, bet on it. So that's where you go to the Federal Reserve and all your birth certificates are bet on. Thing is now, as I just was looking at Kissinger with what's everything from my hometown, and, my cousins are good. They didn't know all this. That doesn't mean that, what Kissinger has done and what he has done with Maddie, to where even Trump getting Maddie off a plane, I believe, in Atlanta with our friends. I don't have friends in Atlanta. That was with FBI, Turner Corporation with CNN. And that's where he got her off the plane. Did he kill her, or what's going on? Are those the crosses and the pluses that he has to a temple and to get the protected line in there? And now I'm the protected line because I killed out that line.
Rachelle, there's a question about who McCann's real father was.
That's interesting. If you look at her eyebrows, my father-in-law tried to kill Cameron when I was, and I was P. Morgan, a girl, when they were going to school at Woodford Green. You have to understand, he made 7 kids, so somebody, and it was probably the women of with Princess Diana, what was going on. When I was impregnated, it was supposed to be for my sister-in-law probably, because she has the eye from my sister-in-law. So he knew about all this too. Bush families with to Cheney to in Switzerland, Kissinger, and the Vissons, Bolsheviks, East End, the Jewish of, again, it's one bed here, one bed there. It's all a game. Goes with Alan Sugar, you're fired, to Trump. So this is the East End connection to where it even goes over to USA of being emperor and then getting into the royal family with Harry. It's not about that anymore. What we have to understand, we are at computers. We are at, do we want Earth to survive this or not?
What do you mean by that? You keep going back to the computers. Explain exactly what you mean by that. I know what you...
Yesterday I was on my computer, okay, and I put on about some Hampstead rape cases of little kids coming out and talking about pedophilia and what's going on. Do you know it was taken off my Facebook, and then it was taken off my Apple history? Now, you have to understand, I was with Steve Jobs. He got me over to the American International School in London at ACS Hillingdon. That was all the NATO commanders, all banks, CEOs, which were most Americans. And what was going on, that was your 2008 crash. I have a balance. I don't know how I balance, but it's sort of like I can't do what these other people do. It's just a goodness inside of me that is a balance of the 9/11 to things that just don't work because it's a protected line. I can't even feel my children getting hurt right now because is my heart getting so cold? This is something they want to do to me, to where I keep giving everything I possibly have to humanity, for men and women, not to go, to learn why I got Obama here, Trump here. I've had Hillary say to me, you give it to them, they've done everything to you badly. And you're right, but I don't want a woman to say, oh, we're going to take down, because we have to take down. Those are the orders, and they are puppets, as much as I would be a puppet too. And you got to just stay true to who you are. If it wasn't for the UK moms getting me to be strong and knowing about things, I would have gone over to America and put my foot down and had all hell break loose over me. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, whatever. Coast Guard goes, Rachelle, when you're president, please tell that we're first, but don't put us last. Look, we have bad everywhere. We just didn't know what the whole game was about. And it's another 1,000 years. Or we can sue. We can get a petition to say, sorry, you did all this to her, Russia, China, Trump. We want to sue Rothschilds, all the Twitter and the Google, and they're all with it, and actually get all my stuff off of Facebook as much as you can, because Facebook's gone down. And it's because of what's on my Facebook. Everything that I'm telling you, you will see happen because they don't want me to say anything. And as far as Operation Olympic Games, there was a kid. He was with a Jewish Russian in New York that was at Panikins. He was putting numbers in a coffee shop, nuclear bugs. And he told me, I have a way of just people telling me the truth. I'm like, okay, you're putting nuclear bugs into the Iran nuclear system. What happens if my coffee goes into your computer? I mean, I have 4 kids. Well, what are you doing? I mean, who's letting you do this? And Feinstein goes, oh, national security. That's where it started to blow up. And then from there, it went to September 11th and Benghazi, a fake Benghazi film, $330 billion. 230 Clavilla said, what would I do with that money? And that was with Navy, of when they put my face on a fake film. And the Jewish of Vegas got all the money back for everybody. Police and firefighters got all money back because we were going down then by China. And China didn't want us to go down then. They want to be the world leader. So it bought us some time. It's always buying us some time, buying us some time. Now they can be Pharaoh because as of 2012, it's supposed to be, okay, she didn't do it, so I can do it. And Trump's gone with them, and Russia's gone with them to go after. Then the royal family won't be the family, but it'll be the Chinese family to rule the world in a communist way to where it gets us to obey type of thing, and that's the way America's going to have to go. And take away our guns, take away everything. Everything. Men in America, their hearts are going to be torn and betrayed just like the Germans were. You know, I was just talking with Germany and Austria, and my uncle was the Von Trapp family singers, and you know, we love everybody, but I just didn't realize this was all around me. But you have some good people in that give me hope, because it's hard to have hope right now. I wish my family would get out of America. They're not well, but we have all China in Delaware with Guatemala, and they're getting their DNA left, right, and center to make, you know, army babies of who's the protected line.
Who's getting the DNA? Name them.
And that's why Qualcomm was coming over, but Trump dissolved it, wouldn't let China to come over, Qualcomm to come over. So then they tried to go a different way and be bought out by somebody else in China to be kind of sneak over in. You have to understand, all these little sneaky companies are going every which way, so you can't see what's happening. But when you know the big part of the game is you got to take USA down to be Pharaoh. And that was what 9/11 was about. Whether it was Prince Charles and Camilla, you know, they have to do as they're told. At the end of the day, I'm the one that's not doing as I'm told, and, you know, they're hurting my family because of it. But, you know, it's not with men don't want to say.
What are they telling you, and what's happening because you're not doing what you're told?
Oh, my family are being taken out, literally. And that's because Illuminati thing you're not supposed to say. I'm not Illuminati. And that's why they keep putting their finger up to the mouth. You're not supposed to say. Because the president can't say. Nobody can say. Everybody is involved in this. Everything you see on TV. Everything. And if you want to be up with the top, you got to have it up the bum to have be controlled with the sperm in your head type of thing. And that's where it's like euphoric and it goes perverted. And that's what happened 2,000 years ago, because our brain, reptilian brain, was getting stronger, and we were starting to control ourselves. And unfortunately, maybe that's not a good idea, because we always end up in war, and we don't want a nuclear thing going off. And it goes to where it has vibration through different dimensions, I guess, too. So that's the only what we can do. That's
what do you mean by different dimensions? Explain that.
Stan was saying there's like 9 or 10 different different dimensions. I'm not real sure about. Your people know a lot more than I do.
Well, if anybody wants to Skype in, it's megawatts 1066. Hello? Well, we seem to have lost her. It's possible that BT outside have pulled the line, but if they'd done that, we would have lost her. We'll give her a call. In the meantime, we'll do this, and we'll see if we got a dial tone. Well, this is quite interesting because they've actually cut the line. They've actually cut the phone line outside. I said on the Skype that, and I don't know how long this is going to go out. The actual telephone is gone, so it's interesting that oh, there it is. It's back. Hello. Okay, well, you're back. So keep talking.
Did you get all that?
No, because the line was cut. They're messing. They're not messing about. They're outside fucking about with wires.
Oh, sweetheart, they're messing about. You have no idea.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, this is country. You know, this is what it's all about. And it's like you go to school, you pay all your money, you do everything, and it's a game of this. You know, I mean.
Could you recap on what we lost? Because you were cutting mid-sentence.
Did you get any of it?
Well, we lost about a minute.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Well, okay, just keep talking then. And remember, people, we don't have too much time on this. Do you Skype in if you want to? If somebody wants to go on Skype.
People were talking about the $330 billion. That was for the fake bank guys. You know why $330 billion? Because I used to live with Chairman of the Republican Party, John and Barbara Howe, and when I went to Texas Christian University, get a hold of Richard Campbell, Fort Worth, Texas. He knew. They stood up for me. Texas said no to the FBI because I saw the Boston bombers at Philadelphia airport. We were going over to Reading because everything was happening in California, and I was going home like, what the hell's going on with our country? Went home, and my next-door neighbor, they followed us, and they never came back. That was at Newark Airport a week before I saw the Boston bombers, and a week before that was a week after that was the Boston bombing. They had, that was the CIA. Fuller was married to the Boston bomber's uncle. It was CIA USA versus CIA USA, which is the Shaw family, CIA director of 3 presidents with Stephen Captives, and then it goes around. And the thing is, these guys don't want to be known because when you go up to the top like that, again, they don't want to say, we'd rather have war than say, I'm sorry, you had to have up the bum for a while because you had to be controlled and what's in our world. You know, they're embarrassed. But, you know, it's like embarrassed or kill your family out. I mean, you know, tell the truth. We need the truth for computers because these people, we were talking about the computers. My lines, everybody's going into my computer, taking things off the Facebook. Get everything off Facebook as you can at the moment because it's going to be going down, and this is what they're trying to do. At the end of the day, like I said, Zuckerberg's daughter is part of my line. That's why he's not coming over to here. He's hiding, and what's going on with that? I think it went down $50 today. They're all going down. At the end of the day, is those guys there were all with me, why I got them all the money, too. It's the computers. If you're putting, bad people are putting bad things into the computers, it's not going to be good for us. And they're starting to get drones and different things that are starting to police everything. Well, if these people are with drones, you know, they're going to kill you on the street. That's
okay, we got a potential Skype.
Person there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, caller. Can you? I say hello. Okay, we got nothing from that. We'll just keep going.
Okay. So.
Hello.
Hello, you're live on the air, caller. What's your name?
This is Brendan.
Brendan. Okay. Well, Brendan, ask Rachelle your question.
Be kind. I know it's crazy, but you're going to have to go that way. It's
okay.
called the keys. It's the keys. It's what it's called is the witnesses. I was the witness. I've been put through hell and back again to get us here.
Right.
I've had to give everything to all presidents because if we go down over there, we go down everywhere. I just happen to have a Mary Magdalene bloodline to where it has the X and the Y in it, so they can get the man and the woman together inside. It's like a God gene to where we now have one body. Twin towers were pulled down for one unity of person. Too many people in the world, but then we're still the bloodline.
Okay, Rachel.
Go ahead.
Caller, your question is, be quick.
Question. Okay, real quick.
Go ahead.
You're in France.
I am in France. You want to know if I know any French?
Okay.
You do that one?
Yeah. Can you speak like two
No, I don't
sentences
speak
in French?
and I can't get
Okay.
out of here. You know, I'm in a beautiful place, and I don't want to be. I mean, the French have been very nice to me, but this area where I'm at, this compound, is where you have Cheney, Hambros, the Queen, horses, going over to Morocco. I have all Moroccan people around here at the moment. You know, I'm like the Mary Magdalene of where to stick her body type of thing.
Okay, caller, you ask a question other than can she speak French?
Because it's 900 years that they have her skin. It's a 1,000-year game. You have to
okay,
understand
Rachel,
1,000 years.
let the question.
Go ahead, hon.
When you say you saw the Boston bombers.
Go ahead. Yeah, I did.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They were at the
Where did you see
Philadelphia
them?
airport. It was a setup. It was at Avis Rent-A-Car. Her name's Wanda. She worked there, and she pulled the tape. After that, it was like at 12 o'clock at night. I had my 12-year-old son with me. I had a car with 4 spare tires on it. I had to go straight to the airport. It came from my hometown of Victor Manuel's in Reading, Pennsylvania, where we had all the Nazi Operation Paperclip that came back because my uncles were with Eisenhower and stopped the war because it's the protected line. And basically, their uncle was married to CIA Fuller's daughter. There was a fat guy there. His son got taken out in Florida the next week. And there was a German kid telling me to shut up, not to say anything. And the lady behind the counter said, get me those tapes, get me everything right now, Crosby. And then Jay-Z and Beyonce went and took the tape down to Cuba, opened up Cuba.
Okay, so you didn't see him in Boston, you saw him in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, all right, well, thanks, Miles. Thanks, Rachelle.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good
night.
Okay. Anybody wants to Skype in? It's megawatts with an S, 1066. Okay, continue, Rachelle.
Okay, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to talk because we got late today. My family's just come home to where it's... Look, everything I'm saying is right. It's crazy, but you have to understand, my family here have had everything taken away and been hurt big time by this. Because I'm not supposed to say anything. And if you see the Boston bombers, and I went to the French police because basically from there, that was at Aix-Provence, and they all came out and saw all my details. And then 2 days later, it was Charlie Hebdo, and they were scared because that was with the Pope picture with Walensky on my Facebook. You'll see the pictures. That's Stan, who's in California. He's Queen Victoria's illegitimate son from Bertie that lived aside of Klaus Barbie. And that Pope is part of his family line. So you have to understand, to be Pharaoh or the Hunger Games, you have to have it be one of the churches, be president, and then have a baby in the royal family. So it's sort of like just a game, and that's how you go with the Illuminati game type of thing of what's going on.
Okay, can you keep talking? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll just put the thing on there. So from that is, you know, this weekend's going to be very, very tough.
Why? What's happening this weekend?
We got Easter coming up, and it's a big holiday. But if you go to James Munder, and there's another guy called Charles Frederick Wust, W-U-S-T, and then there's another one, Richie from Boston. You know, these guys across the United States are trying to figure out what's going on, but like the German said, you know, you're going to be betrayed, and this is what the game is all about. The globalists get it, and, you know, take down to redo again another 1,000 years and to kill everybody, man and woman, to go to third gender, which is, you know, one body with all the human facilities on it to make babies, or they're going to make the babies for you. And then they're just going to pick and choose who they want to, and you're just going to have to be a slave to just do as you're told, and you're going to have a hive mind. And that's what 5G is going to. It's going to burn out your eyes, 5G. You know, this is something you got to understand. If you don't start doing something now to start taking out these people, you are allowing them to do this to you, so that's the good karma and bad karma. They're telling you what you're doing, and you're not doing anything about it. So what you have to do is say, no, I do not consent. And stand with these people that I just said over in America and say, I do not consent. And the thing is, we have these people behind who are on the computer putting bad things in, and from that, they're the people that have done all this to me too, some of them. So you got to be careful, and not only that, you have to forgive some because they didn't know the big picture. Like Jesus said, you didn't know the big picture, and that's why the Vatican is so after me, is because they don't want you to know that it's all from a woman. It's a vibration, it's a frequency, it's like a radio station. You can't see these people who they are, but this is who we are. We have the women, whether it's the rib from, they took the rib from my niece and it's going to third gender. Who cares? Believe what you want to believe, good. Is it worth destroying our world for? Is it worth killing your children for? No, who cares? It's a woman and it's a mother. And she's gotten me here by working with idiots that have greed, money, power, and Illuminati families and trying to hurt me and kill my family for me not to tell you all. So it's a horrible thing, a position I'm put in. How was I supposed to get man to this point to understand all this? I'm going through it. I'm the key to what's going on. Everything Kissinger I just found is part of our family line of what's happening. And they took Maddie and what was going on.
There's evidence that Maddie was taken by German intelligence for a key leading member of the EU, and she was killed in a submarine some time ago.
You know what? I saw her. I saw
No,
her
but
in
when?
London.
When?
A week after. Portland Hospital. I can give the exact time.
And also, the reason why there's a father problem is that I got French intelligence, backdoor intelligence, saying that she was actually a test tube baby. That's one of the reasons she was specially bred for the job.
Well, she's a test tube, but she was inserted. And she was also part of DNA. You have to understand there's 3 DNA. 2 negatives and a positive will give you a lot of energy. And they wanted to mix her with me for the Denmark family. And that's part of my sister-in-law with the eye, what was going on, of the eye problem. It's...
I mean, can you show that eye problem elsewhere?
My sister-in-law? And then there's also my other sister-in-law that looks just like Princess Diana. I mean, it's like, what the heck's going on? And that's why she was a double. What was happening is we have certain people that are running the show, and the real people, they keep poor and they can't do anything about it.
Okay, we got a question from the chat room, and I almost lost all my screens there. She said, there's a question about, did Mary Magdalene go to India with the real Christ to live out her real life?
Well, if we're doing a whole do-over again, which is what's going on, we're doing a whole 1,000-year do-over again. So it's like, do I go to Ireland? Do I go to wherever? It's like where to put my body, or do I stay Mary Magdalene and start from here again? They want to do twins again. That's why they were over in Vietnam, Putin and Trump and McCain. They were making babies over there to do a twin again to see, because it didn't work out this time. Bullshit. I did everything. I was with Silverstein to what was going on. I had a Hopi baby. I had a Hispanic. What was going on, I didn't realize it. But yeah, this is what was happening, because that was what happened in Texas, 1983. They didn't want out with the, Saudi king's son and who to rule the world. They all have to connect, and then they all have to connect up into Egypt for it to be the Pharaoh line. And that's why Trump's over there with Saudi and Egypt at the island over there making babies to try to say, I'm the emperor, stealing the line. I'm the David line. And that's why, you have a protected line where, he was just in a helicopter crash and he was saved. He must have the protected line. It's all lies. Everything that they have to do, they can never tell the truth or they will be killed. This is the game of it all. These people cannot tell you the truth. We have been led down as good people and never knowing. And that's what I'm trying to say. Do not trust anybody except each other, and go with your heart for feeling people and doing the right thing. We just have to keep going. What they're putting into computers is a lot of lies and taking everything out and hurting people.
What do you keep referring to these computers? What do you mean by that?
Well, like I said, people are inputting into computers, inputting into drones. We're going to have drones securing the streets then. And if they have bad people putting stuff into it, they're not going to be actually nice people, not human people. So the computers are going to start talking to each other and making up their own minds about things eventually. And they're going to say, screw all these humans and these beings. We're going to take over the world. And they don't really care. They don't need to eat anything on the earth. So who's going to take care of Earth?
Well, is that not the whole point, that the whole population, the Earth's going to be completely reduced to a desert?
Yeah, but there's some things that we can do to bring it back real quick, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to go underground, to have everything underground to live for a while, to see how many they can take out on top and just watch it on the screen and watch a good old real reality show, TV show for them. The thing is, it depends on how many people we can get woken up to say, you're out, sorry, whatever, you did this to me or whatever, you did that to me, how you ever, got to say no, start out from the little people and start working your way up. It'd be better to work up and go down, but, it's been built up that way, and we are kind of screwed to where everything is just about...
There's a repeated question about the Mary Magdalene question in India.
Okay. Dalai Lama had that for 900 years, the skin, and they were with Gorbachev, and they got a house over in California. So basically from that, it has to do with a game of, and even the Dominican Republic, that's what it was in. Batista went from Cuba over to Haiti and impregnated all the women, and they had this gives a vibration that men can feel, and that's why it's like an instant, like a Viagra type of a thing, and that's why they put blankets over the women's head. It's vibration that men can feel. That was the joke of Mary Magdalene being a whore.
What about Elon Musk? He seems to be one of the few people of the current new elite who is aware that we face existential extinction, in his words, due to this AI.
Yeah, he is. At the end of the day, it goes to Tesla, where they tested those buildings down at 9/11. Trump was all with that. They all knew about it. They all had to, and they all have to obey. It's just what's going on. Now it's the triangle of Rothschild, Saudi king, son, and Soros, of what's holding up the Illuminati side of things, which is all my family, probably, even with Soros, of what you said with Maddie McCann. He had the eye thing. I met him in L.A.
You talked about Soros?
Yeah. I'm the game. I'm the football. They've all been playing games around me. The thing is you do bad karma to me, or there's something around me that it comes back to where I get scared and I just say something, and it's like, it's a knowing thing. It's just, God just puts me in different places just to say, look, quit doing this, and it comes back at people. That's why Aragon said, this is not me to King Henry VIII. This is something that surrounds me. And that's why they were killing out the Black Madonna line, of why the Jesuits left my uncles out in Sicily and went over to America in 1900s. And then they came over to Eisenhower and stopped the war because the Nazis couldn't find them up in Poland. My grandmother went to America, which was the twin of the Romanov kids, because their line wasn't good. And that came from the east end of Jack the Ripper over to kill the Romanov line out, and that's with the BISON, BISSON, and they helped start the OSS, CIA, the underground. And was it the women? Well, yeah, the women have been trying to get the, is it Mary Magdalene or Jesus? Jesus is the bloodline. What it is it's a new bloodline for immortality, and all these kids, false flags, they have this bloodline, and it makes the old people live longer. So you create a war, get all your DNA in that one, make your bloodline that, and that's your immortality line to keep yourself young. Not only that, you can, kill your line, make a war with another country with their line and see who has the more protected line. And this is how the game goes on. You figure they live hundreds of years. So that's why the Queen says, I have 75 more years of energy,
Okay, any more callers want to use the Skype? Just Skype in megawatts 1066. How are you doing, Rachelle? And you're going to have a good...
I'm going to have to pop out, leave. The thing is this is a lot of money. This weekend's very special. Our family is very special by mixing all the bloodline together with all the Romanovs and, the Black Madonna Lost Tribe. That's why China is sitting on my family even over there, even in America. And it would be great. We should probably get a bucket load of money together, and, we'll go to somewhere to where, it can be for everybody. That's what I was trying to do the $50,000 for. It's like, look, You know, everybody should be allowed to be president. If it's blue blood, well, here, I'll spit in a piece of necklace, and there, you're a blue blood. You know, go for it. I mean, when Bush family say you can't be president, you're not blue blood. I go, really? So for some reason, I seem to have everybody after me that I am blue blood. I am the blue blood. What the hell's going on? And then he got caught for cocaine and all that, too. This all goes down to when I used to live with chairman of the Republican Party in Texas in '83.
So you were chairman of the Republican Party in Texas?
No, I lived with them when I went to Texas Coast University. And then Ben Forson, he's dead now, and that's the one that was his sister was going to marry Thatcher's son. But the family wouldn't let him. They own Kimball Art Museum. Good people. You know,
could you talk more about the AI, this artificial intelligence? What do you know about that?
The AI, it's a lot to go through at the moment, and it's all to do with all our Twitter and everything like that. Greenwald was on my case. I mean, all these guys that made the big-time money, you know, that are gay for the gay marriage certificate or tell women the truth this 1,000 years. And that's what Walensky picture was with Charlie Hebdo. And Stan goes, I followed you up there to go with that. And it's the Pope. You know, the Pope don't want this out. And this is the Jesuits. And the Jesuit is, you know, Trump to what Stan was. And where is he? Probably over at the royal family, you know. It's a game. I won 1,000 years. So what does that mean? Queen Victoria's illegitimate son, you know, he's probably over there. You know, at the end of the day, what do you got to do? Truth. Because your food, basically your food, and your blood keeps them longer. And these are all the sacrifices of what's going on. And you don't realize the AI of the people, the robotoids. I did see them. And, you know, you see them. So what? Okay, they're not functional like humans. You can tell they're different. You try to listen to people. But like I said, Operation Olympic Games, you know, that kid was putting numbers in the bloody, you know, Iran nuclear thing. I mean, at a coffee shop.
What do you mean by that, Iran nuclear? I mean, are you talking about the English, the London Olympics 2012, or those two German nukes? The Russian nukes that the Germans put there?
Look it up. It's called Operation Olympic Games. And now they don't want it out, so they're now saying, oh, Iran's getting into all our computers. Bullshit. They don't want to know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, at Panikins and Woods, my Benghazi, his dentist office is just right behind it. And Holmes, the Colorado shooter, was there, too. That was his kid's friend. And his father's Lathlander or something, a New York lawyer, and his mother was with Metropolitan Art Museum, was helping my mom do art to buy prints who they were looking for the Mona Lisa, which is my picture. You know, this is what it's all about, to find the Mona Lisa. But the thing is, yeah, he was sitting there putting nuclear bugs into the nuclear Iran system at a coffee shop. And that's when Dianne Feinstein, it's like 2013, Dianne Feinstein knew, you know, security breach. What, from a kid at a coffee shop? Kids tell me things. People tell me things. I ask certain questions, and somehow that he was so white that he couldn't believe that he told me. But, you know, I just have a way of just getting answers for people just by asking simple questions, not realizing what I'm doing. But it's not manipulating. It's just straightforward. What are you doing? And he was going to help me with my kids with doing some math. He went to UCSD, and he was the board of directors at UCSD with Suk Hansen, Microsoft China, a Japan lady, and China, the richest person, women in China. They're all in, you know, La Jolla. Of course, they don't want Americans to get it, so they were sabotaging me left, right, and center. And that was Nisha and Yang and a lot of different things.
What about the Mandela effect? Where do you think that's coming from in terms of an AI, if it is, if it's even real in the first place?
You know, we've got a lot of things. It's like the AI effect of Bush, Trump right now. He was, you know, 1886 to right now. You know, we have clones going on. You figure it's a chessboard. These people can be recreated, redone just from a piece of skin. Am I recreated? Am I that person? You know, I was born and raised. I've been still on my legs. I still have my things. I still talk crazy of, you know, not shutting up.
There's somebody asking Rachelle if you killed Prince.
I didn't kill him, but the thing is no, I didn't kill anybody. I'm trying to save everybody. Are you kidding me? I just talk, and they're playing all these games. When Prince died, I was over with somebody in California, and they had all these Prince stuff. They had Kill the King. That's right, Kill the King. merchandise. And I went, oh, that's a bit severe, kill the king, you know. And it's just sort of like hit me in the head of, wow, that's not very nice. And they were from Detroit. And it was all a game with this lady from China, which goes with RIVNV guy, which was Twitter, you know, so, and Pasadena people with the Jewish there who hate black, who hate Chinese, and that's the reason why they're also, even with Kissinger, it just gets to be a bit kind of, you know, they're racist. They're you know, at the end of the day, they were mad that I said I was black. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that matter? You know, it's really? And there were a lot of Philadelphia guys there that didn't want the Pasadena people to know about it. So, yeah. And then they stole my car. And I mean, I've had so much done. I mean, suing, I could sue everybody for trillions and 500 trillion here, there, everywhere. But it's not that. We're still here.
Rachelle, are you an MK Ultra victim? Have you been in the program or what?
No, never. 4 kids. That's what broke me away, is them hurting my kids. You know? No. I must go, sweetheart.
Well, just one final thing. 4 p.m. January, the 4th of January 2014. What does that mean to you?
2014.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a year before Charlie Hebdo. I have to look into that. I have to figure out where I was at. Like I said, it's sort of a blur of what was going on because I was like running from these people because it was just so much on top of me of what I was trying to see, and you know, keep away from who you didn't know who was good or bad, and everything was being set up in front of you. And the reason why it was being set up in front of me, it was on my phone. When you're with Apple, of what was going on, they wanted me to just go in then with the watches and everything. You know, once you take part in all this, then what happens is, you know, you can't go either way. I'm not going to give it to one child to the other. I love all of them together. So, 2014, I have to see where I was. I was probably, in Switzerland then.
It's something about 6 weeks after Maddie was in Sutton, apparently.
Well, I was yelling across to, possibly I was in Switzerland, and that's when Merkel found out and brought Snowden over from Russia, because I couldn't call in between the United States. I said, look, I saw the Boston bombers and what was going on. And I was with my aunt at, Victor Manuel's, and I went down to the airport. And all my uncles who are, you know, judges and the Flanagans and, you know, the Germans, they all knew everything about our family. The men did. And it's all a bloody game. But it's not a game then when it's you and you're set up. Even your own family sets you up. Even my own uncle was at Pope John Paul. They were trying to kill out the line. It's like Cain and Abel between 2 twin sisters. Now they take down the towers. It's now duality to singularity to one. I'll think about that, and I'll look and see through my papers to see if I have to look and see where exactly I was.
Are you able to get Skype installed on your computer?
I'm going to try. I'll try again. I'm really shut down here.
Because people are really dying to see you, you know.
Too. Microwaved, I was hit by a car. You have no idea. I mean, when I go out, even downtown, I have all the ambulance going all around. You know, it's. They know I am. I have a chip in my shoulder. You know, you don't want chips because they can...
Which shoulder?
Your body. My right shoulder.
Right.
You know, and I was over at the hospital to try to get it out and stuff, and then all of a sudden they took my driver's license, and then I had all the, you know, the big helicopters around. But I had a driver's license from Delaware. Doesn't expire to 2020. But they took my bloody driver's license. So that's nothing. That's like normal. I mean, they take everything you have. I mean, you got to just survive and just keep focused and say, okay, whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. I still have it. I can just get a renew one. But you just have this going on, and you just got to fight for the people. That's the best I can say, hon.
Well, I wish you a happy Easter.
Well, I'll give you a ring before then, too.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do here. We are desperate for funds, as usual. And
sounds good, Max.
It's yeah. You keep calling me Max.
I know I do. It's just a Freudian slip in my head.
Oh my God!
What was always happening with me when all that was going on with the knee shooting, him happening, the gold that was taken, Obama there, and then the election going on in America, and then they were going around what was happening in Los Angeles, and they didn't want me to tell you, didn't want me to say anything, and I just would not stop, and I was going to go to the embassy, Egypt embassy, and I was there. I got my stamp a whole bunch of times going there. They were very kind to me, but they had Shiite and Sunni fighting each other, say, not say, and, it all goes back to the CIA and what's going on in the games of it all.
And you're encouraging people to go to your Facebook site and take all the pictures and stuff that are on there.
Take as much as you can, because with what's happening to Zuckerberg, and it's his daughter, that's my daughter, and that's with China too. So the royals are going to go after, everybody's going to go after him now. And he's been holding out, and I did go on, and I signed in with a different code of a different, and I knew they got the algorithm of it, so they're all going to be taken down. And, at the end of the day, it is to save us and what's going on. Freedom of speech. We take that away. What do we have?
Using the wrong keyboard here. God almighty. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I'll give you a ring later on.
Okay, all the best, and thank you once again, Rachelle from France, using the telephone.
Okay.
Which is this thing here,
That sounds good. Bye, sweetheart.
Okay, and all the best. Well, there we are. Another Rachelle things, and we have an opportunity here to Skype, and we've got one in this time, and we got one in the last time. So we're just taking this as it comes, and it's up for if you can go through the previous recordings. We're running out of hard drive space here, so I'm not able to record that on the hard drive recorder. That's it. I'll fade to black. If you want to try to sort of give us some sponsorship or things like that, I'll just cut that up. If you wish to donate, it's the basisproject.org using the donate button there, or you just go to PayPal, and it's miles@thebasisproject.org. I still haven't got the Steemit blog really going. There's a new website called On Stellar, which On Stellar is a new site as such, and we're talking to people about that on Stellar. It's run by the Zoar Entertainment people who've just launched it this week, and that'll be an opportunity for people to do a lot of blogging and all sorts of stuff on a whole range of subjects. It's all focused on cryptocurrency and all that sort of stuff. So the other one is copyright. That's it, and I'll say goodbye.